So nobody expects the Sons of Kiss legends to drop a song that sounds like Simon and Garfunkel, but that's exactly what just happened. Evan Stanley and Nick Simmons, Paul and Gene's kids, quietly released a new acoustic track, and it has nothing to do with arena rock, makeup, or pyrotechnics. And honestly, it might be the smartest move they could have made. So the name of the song that was just dropped by Stanley Simmons is Body Down. And if you haven't heard it yet, it's a harmony-driven acoustic piece with a lot of fingerstyle guitar, a lot of close vocal blends, and it's got a soft rock, folk rock vibe to it. I mean, it sounds somewhere across between Extreme and Simon and Garfunkel. When you hear the words Sons of Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, you expect something loud. You expect some heavy metal. You expect rock swagger. You expect something of the Kiss DNA to come roaring through. And I'll tell you what, it actually is in there. It's just buried really deep. So let's talk about one of the things that Stanley Simmons has to overcome, which is being children of rock legends. This is both a blessing and a curse, because the blessing part is you get access, you have mentors, you know how the industry works, you know how to work the media, but you also get way higher expectations, comparisons that you can't possibly get over, and people are ready to find a reason to not like you. So for Evan and Nick, making a folk track is one way to get kind of around all of those obstacles in one fell blow. Instead of trying to be the next Kiss, they're just clearly coming out and showing that they have nothing to do with what their fathers did. But in some ways, they actually do. Because one of the things that made Kiss a cut above all of the other kind of makeup, three-chord, and cloud of dust bands is that they had good vocal harmonies and they had an understanding of melody. So they had like almost a Beatles level of understanding how melody works, even in a heavy song. This comes through in the Stanley Simmons project. They have really tight harmonies, good songwriting, and they did something interesting with the production, which is to kind of back off a little bit and let the warmth and humanness flow through. There's a lot of sincerity that comes out of the vocals, and I think that any kind of production overlay on that would have dampened that impact. So I think they did a good job with the production by kind of having it get out of the way of the song and the voices. Now, the big question is, where do they go from here? Because even though the one-off idea of coming out being Simon Garfunkel, even though you're the Sons of Kiss, that's going to get some attention. That's a very interesting thing to do, and it shows that they're trying to strike out on their own and build something different. They've got to do something next. They have to do something after this. And if they come out and put out several more acoustic songs, they're going to develop a niche audience, and that's about as far as it'll go. If they come out and do another left turn, maybe put out a heavy song, that could be really interesting. Now, why does any of this matter? Well, it's not really about Kiss, it's not really about Stanley Simmons, and it's not about this one song. It's about how the classic rock legacy is moving on with time. And part of that generational evolution is that the children of great superstars are going to be active and creative, and some will rebel, and some will reinvent, and some will have all the talent in the world, and others will struggle. Evan and Nick shows that they have a clever and possibly workable pathway to get around the stigma of being, rock and roll royalty, so to speak. But they're going to have to prove that what they did on this one track, which is really good, can be expanded into a larger project, should they care to do so. So my question to you is, what did you think of the song? Do you think that Stanley Simmons have made a smart move by going acoustic and folky? Or do you think they should have done something heavy? Do you think they may yet do something heavy? And what was your overall impression of the song? Let me know in the comments below.
Music Guru here, asking you to help us on our march to 10,000 subscribers.